What's a man say? Only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love with you. How is everybody doing? What's going on, everyone? 𝐋𝐄𝐆𝐀𝐋 here, aka your daily physique. I hope you're having an amazing day. If this is your first time joining me, I'm a lawyer, but at the same time, I'm a bodybuilder. In the midst of all the chaos that is currently going on, I want to remind you that there are people that care about you. I want to remind you that you're not alone, that you're loved. And despite everything that's going on, I encourage you to be positive. I encourage you to be the light in this world, because this world needs all the light it can get. This is a community where we can encourage each other, where we can support each other, and where we can remind each other that we are there for each other. You are not alone. Your crown has been bought and paid for. Put it on your head and wear it. So today's gonna be a pretty straightforward day. I'm gonna go ahead and start off first with some California bar review, and then afterwards I'm gonna go ahead and hit a leg workout. So if you want to join me in today's journey, please make sure you stay tuned. But if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so we don't miss you on any future videos. Alright everyone, so I have exactly 101 days until the California bar examination. Alright everyone, in reviewing real property, I thought I'd share something with you you might find interesting. So the specific topic of real property that I cover today has to do with interest. So your interest in property. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, you own a home located in Antarctica. One day you wake up and you say, I am sick and tired of the snow. I'm sick and tired of polar bears treading on my door. I want to move. So you put your house on Craigslist and you immediately get a response from a buyer who calls you and says, hello, I'd like to buy your house in Antarctica. You tell the buyer, thank you so much for your call. Let's go ahead and enter into agreement. Check your email. Maybe around 8 p.m. and you should have all the paperwork needed for the transaction. You hang up with that buyer and you start to feel good about yourself. You start looking on Craigslist for another house to buy, maybe this time in the Bahamas. On Craigslist, you see a house in the Bahamas with a palm tree and you say, this is it. But before you click on the actual link, a second buyer calls you. Strange. You just enter into agreement with buyer number one. You pick up your phone and you say, hello, how are you doing? And the second buyer tells you that they've always wanted to live in Antarctica. They've always wanted to live with the polar bears. Buyer number two is so ecstatic about the location of the house. The buyer says, I will double your listing price and I will pay in cash. You tell the second buyer, Buyer number 2, I can make your dreams come true. You say to yourself, whoa, double the listing price? Not a problem. You tell buyer number 2, you should have all the transactional and all the agreement paper by 10 p.m. tonight. You are head over heels. You just made double the listing price. There's no issue on your end. However, did I mention that buyer 2 had called around 8 p.m. after the seller had already sent the agreement contract to buyer number 1? Around 10 p.m., you as the seller send buyer number 2 all of the transactional, all of the agreement papers. But buyer 1 does not record his interest. Buyer number 2, ecstatic about the location of your house located in Antarctica by the polar bears, quickly signs all of the papers and records her interest the very next day. Keep in mind, buyer 1 has not recorded his interest. The legal issue that now arises is, does buyer 1 have any interest in the Antarctica property? Being that buyer 1 had entered into the agreement first, the legal issue that arises is, does buyer 1 have any legal grounds or any legal claim to the property? The answer to that question is no. Buyer 1 no longer has any legal grounds to claim interest in your Antarctica property. Although buyer 1 had first entered into an agreement with you, buyer 1 failed to record his interest. On the other hand, buyer 2 was able to record her interest the very next morning. Because buyer 1 never recorded his interest, and because buyer 2 properly and promptly recorded her interest the very next morning, buyer 2 now has complete legal title over your Antarctica property, and buyer 1 is now at a loss for failing to record his interest. So make sure, if you ever purchase property with an intent to gain interest, make sure you record it. I thought that was pretty interesting. I hope you found that interesting as well. Alright everyone, so I'm basically done studying for the day. Tomorrow, June 1st, is gonna be a super exciting day because that's when the live Barbary classes begin. I'll be sure to let you know how all of that goes, but with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break now. I'm gonna go ahead and hit a leg workout. So if you wanna join me during my workout, stay tuned. Alright everyone, welcome back. I hope you had an amazing day studying with me for the day. I hope you learned something new and I hope you enjoyed that leg workout. But most importantly, remember, despite all the chaos and uncertainty that's currently going on, know that yes you are not alone. You are loved. You are appreciated. And so I encourage you to be a light in this world. This world needs all the light it can get. But you know what time it is. It's time to get up off your phone. It's time to get up off your bed. And it's time to